Hey guys, I think I'm live now, but today I'm gonna break from my regular sessions to go over this kind of like session. It I'm gonna be talking a little bit about some tragic news that occurred today, and but before we get into that, my name's Josh. This is Cultivate Your Best Self. It's about seeking a deeper knowledge of yourself, who you aspire to become, and how and why you value time and money. You can see my dog in the in the bottom right corner. Um, yeah. So my wife and I, we are really huge fans of the CrossFit Games, and my wife's been tracking and following it ever since I want to say maybe 2014, 2013, 2014, as early as then, and then she got me into it once we started dating, and I had no idea about how passionate the community surrounds CrossFit is, and her and I have been watching it every single year. And I remember when we met, one of the things that she told me was that it was her dream to be able to go to the CrossFit Games and support some of our favorite athletes. So in 2022, we had the opportunity to go to Madison, Wisconsin, and watch the games live, and that was a pretty amazing experience. I mean, we got to meet some of the athletes in person, and they were all really great. And fast forward to today, during the first event, we woke up this morning and we were trying to look for the YouTube live. They usually broadcast it on YouTube, and when I was feeding my son, I checked to see what time it was going to be on, and it said that it was going to go live in 30 minutes. So when my wife came back from walking our dog, I went into the living room, turned on the TV, and we were searching for the live CrossFit game session today, and I didn't see it up. I could see Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but Thursday was taken down, and we were wondering why. And so she started searching, and then I started searching, and then there were these news reports of an athlete gone missing. And at the time, I didn't know who it was or the severity of the situation. And then I went onto my computer here and I searched and found out that it was one of our favorite athletes that we loved tracking. I have his name in the title. His name is Lazar Dukic, and they were saying that he went missing in the swimming portion of the first event. It was a run and then a swimming portion. And I think it was like a 5K and then a 800. I want to say it was an 800-meter swim. And I went to Twitter, or to X, formerly Twitter, and I was seeing videos of people. Hey, get out of there! Seeing videos of people uh, people were posting on X, and it was of the competition, and you could see in the background people were highlighting the fact that Lazar Dukic was struggling towards the end of the swimming portion. He was meters away from finishing, and it's just utterly surprising that no one was able to go in and help him and save him from drowning. He drowned, and my wife and I were both like devastated. He was 28 years old, and it really, it's one of those situations that really gets you to reflect on what's important in your life, and to really, it's a jarring experience, like, especially when it's an athlete that we've both been following for many years and have supported throughout the years. It's just such devastating news to see. And so I just wanted to take, this session's probably not going to be as long as some of my other live sessions, but I just wanted to take this time to kind of talk about and reflect on what this means for like just the CrossFit community. Obviously, like prayers, thoughts and prayers go out to his family, especially his brother. He was competing with his brother. I think his brother had just qualified for the first time this year, and they were competing together. And so I can't even imagine what his brother's going through. Um, but yeah, it's a sad day. So yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about life, and if there's anybody here, like feel free to ask me anything in the chat. I mean, it could be related to what happened, if you're a fan of the CrossFit Games, or if it's related to anything on my channel. I talk about self-management, knowledge management, and money management. But as I said in the beginning, I just wanted to take a little bit of a break from doing that, because today was it was kind of hard to focus on anything. Like I was just thinking about like why couldn't he be saved? Like he was, you could tell he was really excited about competing in the CrossFit Games, and it was supposed to be a day of excitement, competition, and it turned into tragedy like pretty quickly. And yeah, it just gets you to think. It gets you to think about life, and how temporary everything is. And when you think about that, like it kind of reinforces some of the things that I've been feeling, I guess, over the past few years, of wanting to cultivate that better life, a better future version of myself, by doing everything that I can to reach my potential, because that's exactly what these athletes do every single year. And that's why we're such huge fans. We love seeing like the passion that they pour into what they do, and then the level at which they perform is really crazy. Like they're the top athletes in the world, and it's just inspiring to watch them and see them compete. And they're competing to see who's the fittest man and woman in the world. And yeah, I don't, that's and CrossFit is partially, I've never done CrossFit. My wife has done it before, and I've never done CrossFit, but it's always inspired me to just want to live a healthier life. Live a more active lifestyle, for my health. For my health, and to be able to perform at my best with everything else that I do. It could be like my personal, professional life. Like exercising is a huge part of being able to perform at my best, and it affects my ability to be a good husband, to be a good father, to be more present, to have enough energy to do things. And yeah, and every single year when the CrossFit Games comes around in August, like around August, it's like that boost of motivation that we get from all of the athletes. Yeah, Suzanne says, "Wow, such horrible news. My may I can't see what it says. May he rest in peace. So sorry to hear this." Yeah. Yeah, and I'm just using this session to reflect on just life in general. The I can also reflect a little bit on the progress that I've made on this channel, and I haven't necessarily been getting followers, but I've been doing what I enjoy, and right, I think this is my 14th live session, and I'm pretty proud of that. I've been sticking to it, regardless of my follower count. Like I'm doing what I believe in, and sharing the things that I've learned that have helped me grow in in my personal life, and hopefully soon, like here in my professional life as well. I think I'm in this weird transition phase of wanting to switch from what I've been doing for the last 15, 16 years, and transitioning into something entirely new. And that can be scary, but at the same time, like, if you don't face that fear of, um, uh, if you don't overcome that fear of pushing past what you're scared of in order to pursue things that will help you grow, that will help push you, to your potential, then, you could, when it comes down to the end of your life, you might feel like, man, I wish. You never want to be in that position to be like, I wish I would have done this, or I wish I would have done that. And like, one of my goals is to be able to be there for people and help them as a profession, to overcome those fears, and to push them past their comfort zone in order for them to pursue a version of themselves that I know is within them, but they just may be too afraid to pursue it themselves. And I think a lot of people are like that in life. A lot of people tend to convince themselves out of things. They hold themselves back, and one of the things that I see with these athletes, because my wife and I follow these athletes throughout the year. They have like quarterfinal competitions, and they have semifinal competitions, and they have the CrossFit Games, which is like the like their final test to see who's the fittest man and woman on earth. But we follow them throughout the year, and we see, like, the dedication that they have, and when they have to push past their comfort zones, they do it almost every workout. They push themselves to the point of like exhaustion, and they do it because it's what they believe in. It's what they do for, as part of like what they're passionate about, and they see their own growth. They believe in their growth through the exercise that they're doing, and that's something that I want to help people with. I want to be able to, if there's anyone out there who is struggling to find direction or purpose, I want to be there to guide them, and show them strategies that can help them find that direction, find that purpose, and pursue it relentlessly, and pushing past that discomfort, out of that fear zone, because staying in that fear zone, it catches up to you. It catches up to you, and yeah, that's just me reflecting on life, and just talking about Lazar Dukic, and appreciating what he's done for the community. We got to see him perform live in 2022, and yeah, he never disappointed. Like, he was for sure a fan favorite, and yeah. I do want to mention that next Tuesday, is going to be about cultivating the life that you want, and I'm going to go through a set of steps that you can use to potentially, within a year, start to cultivate a life that you want to see come to fruition, in your own reality. Because I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that can envision a future that you want, but aren't necessarily taking the steps to get there. And I want to go over these steps from a couple of experts, in their own field, and they have a book that accompanies what I'll be talking about. But yeah, it's about, creating the life that you want, cultivating the life that you want. So that'll be for next Tuesday. But like I said, this session, I think I'm going to keep it a little bit short. And if there's anyone here that you want to mention anything, again, regarding anything on the channel, or anything that has to do with the athlete that I was talking about, Lazar, feel free to mention it in the chat. I've got Twitter up over here, and I commented on the CrossFit Games, like their official is it channel, their profile, and they posted they posted a X post that said, "We are devastated by the passing of Lazar Dukic. Our hearts are with Lazar's entire family, friends, and fellow athletes. And out of respect for the family and in cooperation with the Fort Worth Police Department, we will share updates when possible." And I just commented here. I just said, "My wife and I refused to believe it was true until official word came out. We've cheered for him since 2018 and was a favorite of ours. Saw him perform live at the 2022 CrossFit Games in Madison. A devastating blow to the CrossFit community, to say the least. Rest in peace, Lazar." And I'll share my screen to show you guys that. But let's see. Let me just minimize my yeah, there we go. Man, he was young. I feel like that's young. 28 years old. It's crazy. It's crazy just thinking about like how from one moment to the next, like his life was taken away, way too early. Way too early. But yeah. I don't know if they're gonna continue the games. I was talking to my wife about it, and I said, if they do continue the games, are you going to want to watch it? And she never responded. She's kind of quiet, and I don't know if I would watch it. I mean, I know a lot of people are calling for the CrossFit organizers to cancel the games, and I'm inclined to kind of agree, because like just to see how much it's affecting like fans of the sport. I can't imagine like how much it's affecting like the actual athletes who are friends with him, like it almost seems like it could be dangerous for them to perform in that state. I think it's just too soon. At the very least, maybe postpone it. But then again, the amount of heart and training that these athletes pour into what they do. At the same, oh, there was a spider right here. There's a little one, but where'd it go? It was just like, it was one of those things that the spiders, it was dangling here on the side. It's gone now. What was I saying? Yeah. Oh yeah, I was so, the amount of training that the athletes have to go through, would it be fair to them? Ultimately, like I think maybe the best course of action would be for them to take a vote and see if the athletes would be willing. But then I don't know, like I think no matter how you frame it, and no matter what they end up doing, there's going to be disappointed people, and I think there's no way of avoiding that. I do think that it was a pretty gross negligence on the part of the people that were there to like monitor the health and safety of the athletes. And but that's not to say, like they deserve to be like, I don't think they deserve to get the amount of hate that they're receiving. Like I'm sure they feel horrible about what went down this morning, and they're people too, and I'm sure they're going through a lot of heartache, and even probably filled with guilt and regret for not seeing what was going down. And I'm sure, like, if they're watching the footage of that he was clearly in distress, that they're gonna probably be in a position where they're just gonna like shut themselves down and just blame themselves for what happened. And I don't think any cause of death has come out yet, like what caused Lazar to kind of just stop while he was swimming, and then you could see him struggling, and then he just, I think, just goes underwater. But um, whatever it is, whatever he went through is definitely not the fault of anyone there. They're meant to test and push past limits, test their strength, test their endurance, and all of that. But um, I don't know. It's just, you would think that something like this would have been easily preventable, but here we are, and it still happened. But yeah, I just thought I'd share share that little bit that I posted there on X. But yeah, regardless, I mean, it's sad to see an athlete of his caliber go, and yeah, I hope he rests in peace. He will be missed, and yeah, I think I'll probably end it here. But feel free to comment, your thoughts in the comments section once this video is kind of available, and yeah, and let me know if you've had any experiences with going to the CrossFit Games. If you've met Lazar, feel free to share your experiences in having met him. And next Tuesday, I'll continue on with the kind of like the regular scheduled programming, the things that I typically cover that deal with personal development and growth mindset, and all that stuff. But yeah, I think that's it for this one, and I'll catch you guys next week. All right, keep learning and keep growing.